Hello everyone, it's Tanya with Scribbles in Time. I am doing something a little differently this morning. It's real early morning here, and I have my sister coming to bring my dad for a quick visit in probably about 25 minutes now. I've been in here already. I'm covered in ink and glue and everything else, but I've been in here this morning. So just to kind of bring you up to date, I posted a video on this journal and then ended up having to have surgery. And I kind of reached out to a few of the people on my list. The very first lady on my list is in the hospital, and prayers are going out for her. She says it's not too serious. Her indication was just that she has been battling pneumonia and she was back in the hospital, but it didn't sound like she was going to be in long term. But at any rate, my point is we need to be praying for her, obviously. But then I kind of sent a generic message out to everyone else on the list, and then I had to go in for surgery. So I am home. Everything is great. It was outpatient, and I'm going back next week to meet with another surgeon, and we'll likely be having another surgery in about a week or so. But anyway, in the meantime, I am in my craft room crafting, and I wanted to kind of bring you up to date on this journal. So because the first lady on the list obviously was not in a situation right now to put thought into anything of this nature, I just kind of sent a generic message out. But this journal is available. I have decided, obviously, if she doesn't sell, if anyone on the list is not interested, I don't think I'm going to post her in my Etsy. Obviously, you can reach out to me if you are interested. Her price point ended up going a little bit higher than what I'm comfortable with even putting her in Etsy for, but it's because so much of the materials that I used in this were so expensive, including the pen on the front. And at any rate, so I've decided to keep her if she doesn't sell. So for that reason, I was in a crafty mood this morning, so I came in here and started working on her, and I decided to turn my camera on. I don't normally do that, so I don't normally do these little craft with me. So I pulled out my wood burning set. My intentions had been to initially wood burn whoever's initial onto this piece of wood before I permanently attached it to the journal front. And because I'm kind of going under the concept that this may end up being my journal, I decided I really didn't want my initial. I think I want to put a year on here. So I was just fixing to do that and decided, you know what, let me hold off just in case anyone does decide that they're interested in this journal. That would be fine also. So I putting the wood burning set away. It's been years since I've used that. I don't even know at this point if it's going to power on. It has literally been years since I have used my wood burning kit. This is actually a new one. My old one, I'll get it. It was under a different crafting phase of my life and was pretty worn out and covered in gunk. So anyway, so then I started flipping kind of through this journal, and kind of in my mind I was thinking of elements that if I'm keeping the journal, elements I might want to take away or put into a different journal and that kind of thing. So I started kind of flipping through, and this doll, I don't think I really put enough emphasis on this amazing little doll that I'd gotten at an antique shop, I believe in Charleston. I'm not real positive. I have a friend in Charleston that collects miniature dolls, and she actually has a whole set of them that she has reached out to see if I'm interested in, and I haven't gotten back with her on that. I've just had a lot going on. I think I've mentioned in previous videos that my dad is from the Charleston area, and he's had to move in with me. And right now he's at my sister's because of my surgery. But anyway, she's going to have him back in just a little bit. And I decided, am I even in frame? Obviously, this is not what I'm used to doing. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to... whether I keep the journal or get rid of the journal, I wanted to really put some emphasis on this amazing little doll. So she is old. She is already stitched onto the page. So I started just kind of pulling out things that I love that, you know, under the assumption I'm keeping the journal. I just started pulling out things that I would want to attach to the page. So I thought I would kind of show you how I do this in these art journals for anyone that's interested in watching. So I've taken a piece of just some kind of cardstocky paper, kind of a thicker paper, and tore it down to the size of this page that I'm wanting to attach stuff to. I don't always do it that way. Sometimes I actually attach straight to the paper itself. But because I kind of did this cluster on the back, I don't know what route I'm going to want to go with on the back of this page. So for that reason, I'm going to attach things to this page. And because I don't think I'm going to have time to do it all, I kind of thought I would just flip on the camera and kind of show you where my thought process is going with it. So yeah, I started pulling out things that make me happy. Dee made me some paper. Let me show you. We did a Past in Pages project together, and Dee had made a bunch of this paper and gave to me this grungy art paper. And y'all, I do art all the time, but and I even do it on top of paper. Like, I have grungy paper everywhere, but something about Dee's is so special to me. Everything Dee does is like gold to me. I love that lady. Anyway, so I pulled out that paper, and it wasn't really the texture I wanted, so I pulled out some just old cardboard that I have and kind of tore some of the paper off of it and grunged it up in the same fashion, and was kind of in my mind's eye going kind of with this route, or even possibly putting this farther down on the page. And then I grunged up this other little piece of the cardboard. So I think I'm going to start off by attaching all of this to this back piece of paper. And as I attach it, so I'm then kind of in my mind's eye trying to do a layering effect. So if this is kind of there, like I think I'm going to do, when you flip the page over, you can see the layering poking out, and I really love that. I don't expect that that would last forever. I think it would start bending with the page, but that's what I like. I like for a book to develop its own personality with wear and time. I like this little piece is torn. So yeah, I could snip the doll off and kind of start from fresh. She's only stitched on with strings, but I don't want to. That was kind of my point that I was going with that. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of start with this backdrop a little bit, and then I was playing with other things that I like. So again, you know, the whole series of this is the path she follows, or that kind of was the theme I was going with on it. The path she walks, the journey, along her journey, things like that was kind of where I was going with this thought process. But anyway, so in my mind, I think about how I've been all my life, the way I love to pick up, you know, quote unquote junk is what my husband calls it mostly, but I love picking up stuff that I think are little treasures. So anyway, so I started pulling out some of the things that I love, and started trying to figure out ways that I want to layer all of it. So I'm kind of, in my mind's eye, going along something like this. And then I pulled out this little picture of, to me, it looks like a little girl bending down, picking up something. And that's, you know, kind of my whole concept. So I took a piece of glass and got my hot glue gun and went around the edges so that it wouldn't be sharp, and covered the edges, and then I used some alcohol inks and grunged it up. And what I want to do is attach the glass to here with the picture behind the glass like that. And so that's kind of where my mind is going with this at this moment in time. I have this string that I really wanted to layer somewhere back here, so I'll probably do that. I had already grabbed out my needle book and threaded a needle this morning with some thread where I had intended on starting to stitch some of this stuff down to the backdrop paper. I pulled out this piece of cloth tape measure that I absolutely love, and I think I'm going to somehow incorporate a little strip of that along here. I might even do it kind of this way so that it's poking out a little bit on the edge of the page. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of give you an idea of where my thoughts were going on this. I'm going to turn the camera off now because, first of all, I work with music playing and singing, and I will eventually hopefully get used to working with the camera going and just kind of talking through my day and everything. But again, I'm recovering from some surgery right now. I don't think you really want to hear me talk and complain. I've not had surgery in over 30 years. So for me, I'm not a fun patient. I don't like being trapped inside of my body when my body's not feeling at its best. So anyway, I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm going to go ahead and kind of stitch through this, and then I'll flip the camera back on. By the end, I suspect my sister and my dad will be here visiting, so it may be a little noisy, but in just a moment, I'll flip my camera back on and kind of give you a after shot of this. And also, I might even pull out my next little project and show you what I've started on. It's something a little different. I do want to get back to doing this style for, you know, the people who are interested in getting one of my journals that are in this style. I do plan on getting back on it, but not immediately. I kind of have something else in mind that I'm excited to do also. And of course, with all this surgery stuff going on, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just in my mind plotting and planning. But anyway, I'll be back in a minute. Let me get all this stuff attached to the page and I'll kind of show you where I'm at. See you in a minute. Okay, little project is complete. Very quick. It did not take me long. My sister has not even gotten here with my dad yet. So just wanted to flip the camera back on and show you a little close-up of what I did. And it's so easy to add to these kind of books. Like I said, you can just attach it to a piece of paper and then attach the paper to the page itself. Obviously, you could even hinge it on to where if you wanted to hinge that, you could literally open it up and still paint on the paper behind it. I didn't choose to do that. I did, instead of stitching the tape measure on, I did run it behind the picture. Again, it's one of those things, and I put extra fabric in here as well. To me, this is like an old sweater material. And it's one of those things I like to put extra things like that in case I ever, or whoever gets the journal ever wants to snip off a piece and use it in a different place to kind of tie the pages together. That's always an option. This picture can be taken out. I didn't attach it. I just slid it behind this glass. This is actual real glass. Could it break? Yeah, it could. You know, if you get too rough with the journal, it could break. I did stitch it on like that. So it's attached pretty securely. But could it break? Yeah, if it breaks, snip the string off, remove the glass, and put something else there. It's just, that's the beauty of these things. But anyway, I'm rambling like I always do. I know I gave you a little teaser earlier in the video that I was going to try to show my next little project. I'm tired. This is my first day back at my craft table since the little surgery, so I'm tired. I'm going to call it a morning and go get set up for my dad. This will be his first day back at the house, spending a day with me, and I'm so excited. I did pull out these thinking I would use one of these, and ended up changing my mind and using the tape measure instead. But it was just a little reminder also that I wanted to mention, if I find an Etsy shop that has cool items, I always like to point it out. But you know, when somebody sends you something for free, just, that is so sweet, and I sure do want to point this out. So this is an Etsy shop I stumbled across, and she knew how much I love these little fabric. I don't know what type of, whether they're laundry tags or what they are exactly, but they're like canvas. To me, they almost look like a army tag or something. I don't know what they are, but they're really cool. And she was sold out of them. She came across a couple and sent them to me just as a gift, and that was so sweet. And so I definitely want to point her shop out. The name of her shop is Liz on Lucky Street. Liz, L-I-Z, on Lucky Street. And I will try to put a link to her shop below. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sending these to me. I do love them. I'm going to find special places for all three of them. I'm very excited about them. Thank you so much for that sweet gift. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. I love you all.